Well, this is something I can go on for hours about because I find it absolutely fascinating. It's probably the most interesting thing and probably the most important thing that I've done as alderman. When I first got elected, I got interested in it, and I convened kind of a meeting with the deans of a couple of medical schools, the two medical schools and the universities, the chancellors of the universities, and we started it about 25 years ago and really picked up a lot of steam about 15 years ago. What goes on is we were doing a great job of receiving National Institute of Health funding, NIH, at the two medical centers, and they actually track this stuff, if you can believe it or not. We have, for every $1 million of research, there's X number of discoveries, and for X number of discoveries, you get a patent, and for so many patents, you get a new business, and for so many new businesses, you'll get new jobs. Well, we were doing really great at attracting the money and, making the discoveries and doing the patents, but we weren't doing very well at all at the bottom of it, which is, what's really important for spreading that that discovery throughout the area and commercializing it. So that's when we started this whole process years ago. We created the Center for Emerging Technologies, and then we got lucky. Bill Danforth retired from WashU and was looking for something to do, and John Dubinsky retired. And lo and behold, we created Cortex, and what was started, when we started 25 years ago, was Technopolis. What it is now is Cortex. We rebranded it, and it has been probably the most exciting thing I've ever worked on. It has gained tremendous momentum. And then we hired an executive director, Dennis Lauer, who really knows what he's doing. What really has thrown St. Louis to the forefront of this area, we're certainly not Silicon Valley yet, but for the emerging tech districts around the country, I think we're at the forefront, is Dennis came in with a strategy, and this is why strategy and kind of sticking with this stuff takes so long to develop, but he has 5 pillars of innovation, or 5 centers of innovation over there. It's a Center for Emerging Technology, the Cambridge Innovation Center, we have Venture Cafe, Biogenerator, and the most recent one was Tech Shop, which opened up on Forest Park. And the idea of having these 5 centers of innovation so close together and requiring such scale that you can't really replicate that anywhere else in the region, it gives us a whole unique value proposition. So if you can imagine what we're saying now is we're knocking on doors of large corporations, and virtually every large corporation is going to have an innovation department. It's going to be their smartest, most creative people in their organization, and we're knocking on the doors of these large corporations that are out along 270, and we're saying, hey, do you want to have your smartest, most creative people sitting out here in your sterile suburban campus, or do you want to go ahead and co-locate them down in the city next to 5 innovation centers, a couple blocks away from 2 medical centers, clustered together with some other really smart, bright, and talented people, and we're getting really positive responses. We've gotten Boeing open up, and of course any number of the large companies, but the big one coming in is we're going to have Microsoft moving in next year. So as it stands right now, we have 4,000 people working in Cortex, 250 companies. We're out of space. Next year, we're going to have an office building, a hotel, and Microsoft will be at 5,000 employees. Our goal is to get 14,000. And when you start talking about creating value, having all of those people living close to a neighborhood that's walkable, that's going to have a new Metrolink stop, that has the advantage of historic tax credits, it starts making it very clear why the neighborhoods of Forest Park Southeast, Central West End, Botanical Heights, and the other neighborhoods of the 17th Ward are flourishing so well.